seconds.
Welcome to Clever Title Pending, a proud member of the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. We talk to creatives about creativity and the business behind them. So type in your questions and become part of the conversation. And now, here's your host, Brian K. Morris.
Hi, how the heck are you? Welcome to a very truncated version of Clever Tile Pending. Hope you're having a great Tuesday. I am. We'll have some words about that in a moment here, and we want to thank everyone that is watching right now. We're just going to say a few words, and then we're probably going to be having a little interaction, and then probably heading our way out. But also, want to let everyone know that we this episode, short as it is sponsored by PlasmaFireGraphics.com. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the live your book matters. Did you like that that little trailer there? Well, Jeffrey Hayes can do this very same for you. That's one of his creations. He is Plasma Fire Graphics. He's great to work with, and believe it or not, that level of quality, he's quite affordable. Even Cookie lets me say I can spend money with him, which you know how that goes. Anyway, folks, please check out their Facebook page and check them out. It's PlasmaFireGraphics.com, where the look of your book matters to you. Also want to thank the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. Please bookmark this. Sign up for that page. Give it a like, because we've got your entertainment and education lined up all 7 days of the week from Monday till Sunday. A lot of great stuff, creative conversations, cigars, adult beverages, general talk, science, and mixology, and all kinds of great stuff, and a whole lot of stuff that maybe gets you a little perked up, and maybe you want to make your career move upwards. Anyway, please check out the shows we have here. Please give that page on Facebook a like if you would. Also, thank you to our Patreon subscribers. Patreon is a monthly subscription service where you can support your favorite creators directly, but you get stuff in return. If you want to find out what I can offer you for a mere monthly subscription, check out www.patreon.com/Brian K. Morris. By the way, speaking of Jeffrey Hayes, he did this book here. He did the cover for it. My latest book, An Abraham Snow Adventure, a quick read crime thriller novel called Snow Ambition, number 4 in the Snow Short series. So definitely get into Bobby Nash's shorts, and you'll be happy you did. Anyway, please check that out. Oh, I've been waiting weeks to say that, and I thought, what the heck, I'll do it. Anyway, please check it out. I think you'll dig that book if you like crime stories. Anyway, folks, thank you for being here. Now, a quick word. We were going to have John B. PYKA, johnpyka.com, but his daughter was having a recital today. He was just reminded of it a couple days ago. So we have rescheduled John for, let me check, July 20th. He will be back, and he'll talk about his writing, his broadcasting, and his ascension in the firmament here. So please check it out. We hope you'll enjoy it. And next week we are going to have John L. Davis the fourth. You may not have heard of him, but he's a St. Louis area author. Does a lot of horror and stuff, and he's self-published, and he's a fun guy, and I think you'll dig him. So we'll have him on next week, and we thank you for your indulgence. Also, the thing is, I'm going to make this a little shorter, because as is not a secret, especially if you watch Nevermind the Furthermore, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 10 a.m., hashtag always promote, you will see that today is my 30th anniversary, and I remember where I was. It was a Saturday. Cookie and I had put together our own wedding. We got married in Hessel Park, the north side of Hessel Park in Champaign, Illinois, where we were both living at the time. And it was a wonderful affair. Her family showed up. many of our friends, and Susan McKinney was her maid of honor. In fact, Cookie and I met at Susan's wedding, and then Mark Leonard was my best man, and David E. Laker. My mother had passed away a few months prior to that, and what we had him do was Mom had herself cream. Well, she didn't have herself cream, and I had to help. But anyway, she was cremated, and so when the ceremony started at our request, Dave went out to our car and picked up Mom's urn and stood where we could see her. So she actually managed to make my wedding. Glad to hear that. And it was kind of a raucous affair. I know you're shocked. I waited till you're all sitting down, but it started a 30-year adventure, which continues to this day. And she is now my partner in Rising Tide Publications. She supports my broadcasting, and we're still in the honeymoon phase. So we're dedicating this episode to Cookie, who is currently at work right now, but she may be home at any minute. So it's not like I've got to behave for that. But anyway, we've got a few comments here. Let's take a few of them in. And Carlene is sneaking in, finding a seat, and pretty quiet in here. What's all that noise backstage? Probably me. I don't blame you. It was probably me. I'd be afraid too. And holy moly. And you don't want to know. That's usually the background here. Yeah. And hi, Angie Dudas. Glad to see you. And also, please, folks, if there is any part of this show that you like, please give us a thumbs up, and also please like it on Facebook as well as the page you're watching it on. And we thank you for being here, and hello to everyone, and howdy to Facebook user, and thank you, Ryan Permison. Appreciate your sharing us, and BKM gets to go home early tonight with any luck. Yeah. And Clyde Hall, happy anniversary. Bring Cookie flowers. We spent the whole weekend celebrating. We went out to a fancy dinner here in Lafayette on Saturday. Then on Sunday, we drove up to Westlake, Ohio, which is right outside of Cleveland, which was a 5-hour journey that took closer to 6 because of some traffic accidents along the way. But we got to run into our dear friends, Charles F. and Marianne Millhouse, had dinner with them at a swank restaurant up there. And then, and also got to see Jim Beard and John Bruning, who you've seen on past episodes of this extravaganza. So, and then we had a nice leisurely drive home, and she's going to have a short day too today. And so it's a pretty good day. We've been celebrating for 4 days. So, I may still go out tomorrow and get her flowers. We'll see. Anyway, and please don't forget to thank you, Carl Witzman, for reminding everyone. If you're watching, please, if you're watching on YouTube especially, please give this video a like if you enjoy any part of it. And please subscribe if you would, because it helps us with the algorithms. And happy anniversary to you guys. Love you both. We love you too, Donna. We really do. Thank you so much for the well wishes. I do appreciate it. And we appreciate Willow Schuyler, who promotes us every day. Mwah, Willow, good evening to you. And be sure to check out Willow's Pillow Talk, because she's awesome. And Dan Hollifield, last man standing, a part of Stupid O'Clock, and he's a great guy and a musician and writer and does everything well. He makes the rest of us mere mortals look sick. Anyway, good to see you, Dan. And Eric Hawkins, hello everyone. No, Batman. We may be talking about Batman on Thursday night. Well, let's just say if you followed the news lately, in fact, Philip DeFranco led off his newscast today with the news about Batman. I think we ought to save it for Thursday, though, on Comic Book Spectrum, which will be on at 7 p.m., part of the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. And following, before, and after that, I think Amy Hale is taking a little week off or two. But Joe Dog McKeel will be back at 9 p.m. Eastern with Stupid O'Clock. And by the way, today, please wish Amy and John Hale a happy anniversary. About 4 years ago, we were at Salem Comic and Toy Expo, and we were waiting for our food, which is a whole separate discussion there. But while we were talking, we got talking about our weddings, and they asked me when mine was. I said 1991. They said, "Well, mine was too." What? Amy said, "Well, mine was too. When was your month?" I said, "June." She goes, "Oh, wow. June, what day was yours?" And I said, the 15th. And she goes, "Oh my God, you're not going to believe when ours was." And it turned out we were, John and Amy and Cookie and I were married in Illinois, in different parts of the state, of course. But we were also married on the exact same day. I think ours was a couple hours earlier than theirs. But anyway, It was something. Please wish Amy and John a very happy anniversary. They are a terrific couple, and everyone's saying hello to each other, and that's how I like it. And the Captain Eric and Cameron Christian Payne. Hello, happy anniversary. Thank you, Cameron. I appreciate that. Sincerely, I do. And Teresa Dunn, good evening. Brian Albert is doing better, but emotionally exhausted. I'm sure he is. Please send some positive energy to Teresa. And I'm glad Albert's feeling better. I really am. Albert had a little stay in the hospital due to some ill health, but he's on the mend now. I'm glad to say. Please send some love to Ron Franz, who is a friend of mine, who, if it weren't for him, this book would never have been written. Okay. He's my editor on there and a dear friend, and he's having some challenges right now. And please also keep artist and writer Ty Templeton in your thoughts too. Ty and I have known each other kind of casually for years. I interviewed him years ago for Back Issue magazine a couple times, and for the Krypton Companion. He is a terrifically talented guy and a really kind human being. And he just sent out his first newsletter in about 3 years. He's in state. I feel confident saying this because he shared it with all of us. He's in stage 3 of colorectal cancer. He's expected to make a full recovery, but please send him your love and your prayers just to help him out, okay? And everyone's still saying hello to each other. And Cindy Cap, hello, here I am to say the day. And here she is, as always, CKOEPP.com. Glad to see you here, Cindy. And good, Teresa, good to hear, definitely. And Joe Dog McGill, clever mind the pending more. Hey, Joe Dog, vague booking. Thank you very much. She's already looking at it. Anyway, and happy marriage survival celebration day. Yeah, people have been asking me all week. It's like, how did you two stay together for 30 years? And I said, for me, it was easy. She's the one that had the challenges. And this, I've said this before, we were told by several people that a betting pool had formed before our marriage to see how long we would stay together, because we were both kind of individualistic, and all bets were off after 6 months. The main bet was that she would kill me because I said something stupid. But anyway, and that's the one I had to bet on too. And Dan Olifield says, you flatter me, Brian. What do you want this time? Just your love. That's all. Anyway, you wrote a song with that inspired. I figure if nothing else, we're even. Happy anniversary. Thank you, Joe Dog. I appreciate that so very much. And DC just had a press release stating Batman will. I don't believe that for a second. That's damage control if ever I've heard it. Yes. For those who came in late, there's a Phantom reference. DC, there was a special about various shows, and what the producer of the Harley Quinn cartoon on HBO Max was interviewed. And it turns out that was a storyline in the 3rd season where Batman was supposed to have sex with Catwoman, and part of it involved a certain type of oral foreplay. And DC vetoed this, saying that their heroes didn't do that because they're still trying to market it for kids. Apparently it's okay for the villains to do it. And but anyway, we're going to discuss that on not Clever Title Penalty, but that's what this show is. We're going to discuss that on Comic Book Spectrum on Thursdays, and I'm sure Eric Hawkins and Clyde Hall and Brian Robin will have a lot to say about it. We expect you will too. And thanks, Carl, from Teresa Dunn. And somehow you are all 4 married to each other. That's some odd law, I think. Yeah, this is before Illinois outlawed it. So how y'all are? We are wonderful. How are you tonight? I know you are, Carl. And hello, Trish Bankston. How are you? Good evening to you. Mwah. Glad to see you here. And he's going to need therapy with walking. Yeah, probably. And marriage is when a man and a woman become as one. The trouble is when they try to decide which one. Cindy, I think I know which one it is in our relationship. You've heard that old thing about what is hers is hers and what's mine is hers. So anyway, I ain't claiming I'm the one in charge. All right. And groups, once you get married, remember that you have a discussion with your future wives. Always get the last 2 words in. Yes, dear Cindy, that is so true. Those 2 words have kept me alive for 30 years. Anyway, already? Woohoo! Yeah, thank you, Joe Dog. And thank you, Cindy Cap. What did Cinderella say when her photos did not show up? Someday my prince will come. Boy, does that joke dated. And the Ninja Kanko goes, dang, good. I'm glad you approve of my 3 decades of marital blitz. And Thursday is going to be so much fun. Yes, Eric has been his mischievous self and a whole lot of Falderall is about to happen. And Carl Witzman says, yes, Eric, I will be glued to the monitor Thursday night. Well, that sounds kind of kinky. Is it going to be like a rubber cement, or is it going to be like Gorilla Glue? Asking for a friend. And good evening to you, Rick Bradley. Hope you're having a good evening, my friend. And glad I joined the Villains Union as well as the Heroes Union. Yeah, and I've been monitoring the Batman situation all day long because I'm a journalist and got to keep up on the latest trends. Some of it's very rude. But my favorite one so far is I'm glad Bruce Wayne's parents aren't alive to see this Twitter feed. Anyway, Angie Dudas, Batman might not, but Bruce Wayne is a freak. Well, yeah, that's the thing. It was Angie. Somebody said on Twitter that chances are he does, but he would do it with perfection and obsessively. It's like if you want the best, that apparently he has traveled the world to learn all of the arts but one. Anyway, no wonder he can't keep a girlfriend. Ask Julie Madison and Vicky Vale and Talia al Ghul and now Selena Kyle. I'm telling you. And the Batman memes have been gold. Oh my God, yes, they have, Eric. They have been a total howl. And yeah, I agree, Carl. Oh, but anyway, that's what we've got for tonight. And Carl, I did get your DM before the show, and I will make you my designated pinch hitter. How's that? Next time this happens. And this is the first time it's happened, but it's for a good cause. And we do not begrudge John PYKA at all. John, in fact, please go to Amazon and check out his brand new book, Nightreich, available from Seventh Star Press. John will be at the Imaginarium the 7th. It's the first full weekend in July. In fact, it's my next show. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And Rick Bradley says, well, I can tell I've been away from the internet for a bit. What's going on with Batman? He apparently, Selena Kyle's about to kick him out of the cat house, if you know what I mean. Tune in to a Thursday night to Comic Book Spectrum. And the 5 most essential words, says Cindy, kept for a healthy, vital relationship are, I apologize and you are right. Yeah. I haven't been right in years in every conceivable way. Anyway, please, if you want to be right yourself, then you need to get on Cindy Kep's website, CKOEPP.com. Check out that page. Check out her books and check out her brand new comic Animal Eye based on her latest novel. And also be sure to check out her newsletter. Please sign up for it. It's a great, great read, and it'll come out in 10 days. You'll be glad. You'll be glad. And we begrudge John B. PYKA, but just not for tonight. Oh no, John's a good guy. He really is. I like him a lot. And he'll just we're just putting it off when he will be sharing his wisdom with you. As Professor Kingsfield used to say, spilling your skulls full of mush. Anyway, Thursday night on Comic Book Spectrum, what heroes do and do not do, or Marvel versus DC. Yeah. Oh, yes, I also saw Scott Snyder, who has written Batman for over 10 years, say he most certainly does. And another creator, I don't remember who it was, said, well, I'm having a lot more fun reading these arguments than the usual does Batman kill. So in fact, I saw another great meme. I don't remember who had it today, but it showed Mark Spector, Moon Knight, for those of you who know who he is at Marvel, telling a woman, I'm better than Batman. She goes, how? And he goes, because I'll do that and I will kill. So anyway, so yeah, you can be sure the Comic Book Spectrum is going to be quite exciting, quite lively this coming Thursday night at 7 p.m. on the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. And we're also going to have 4 reviews. We're also lining up our reviews. I'll be going out tomorrow and checking out the book I'm going to review. I may have read something online, though, I'm really enjoying. So I may review that because that came out within last month, too. But anyway, like I said, next week we will have John L. Davis IV, talking about horror, talking about self-publishing, talking about very cool stuff. And Eric Hawkins says, Moon Knight is the bomb, and you know I am reviewing issue 1 in July. I figure that's yours, all yours, brother. So anyway, please check out Comic Book Spectrum on Thursday nights at 6 p.m. Central, and join Clyde, Eric, and Brian and myself. We always have a good time. In fact, last week we were 4 minutes shy of starting on time, and it was because we were all cutting up and having a good blast between all four of us. So anyway, and Nick Tockard said, my net crashed. Did your guests have to cancel? Yes, Nicholas Tockard, who definitely check him out, 8 p.m. on Friday nights with the Historical Fencing Guild, a fantastic combat show that he's always excellent in. But yeah, John B. PYKA, his daughter had a recital tonight, and his wife reminded him of it 3 days ago, so he had to cancel. So it's a great reason to cancel. This is the first time I've had a guest cancel on this show, but that's okay. All right, I think we did pretty good. So anyway, I'm going to take this opportunity, and I'm going to have a truncated show tonight. We're going to be like Carnation Milk, and we're going to condense this a bit. But we will be on tomorrow morning with Never Mind the Furthermore at 10 a.m. as usual. And please check out the Thursday agenda, TED Talks timepieces at 10 a.m., all times Eastern. Then at 7 p.m. will be Comic Book Spectrum, where we talk about Batman and why Wortham may have been right about that guy. And then we're going to, then I think Amy Hale's taking the week off, I think. But definitely Joe Dog McKeel is not. He and Skunk, Dan, John, and Heather, and probably Nick, or who else will show up. We'll be doing Stupid O'Clock, a great after-hours conversation show that you're going to dig. And let's see, here we go. Okay, anyway, Cindy Cap, Blarg, Facebook keeps kicking me out of the broadcast. See, there's a reason the bad guy in Freelance Words is named with the initials FB. Yeah, seriously. And do you need a substitute? You can take over my role anytime, Nick. Hold on here. And there are two kinds of people in this world: those who finish what they start and walks off. I'm never going to learn. Oh, never mind. Oh, I'm sorry if you want to. And hello, beautiful people. It's my birthday. I know who this is. This is Keisha. This is Keisha Acuff, a delightful, delightful lady. And by the way, finally watched your video. You're in. And she's wonderful. She was at the Indie Author Book Expo in Peoria, and it was an absolute delight. And oh, never mind the furthermore. Sorry, reflex. Yeah, I get that too sometimes, especially after I eat a lot of spicy foods. And two antennas met on a roof, says Cindy Kept, fell in love and got married. The ceremony wasn't much, but the reception was excellent. And happy birthday, definitely happy birthday to Keisha Acuff. Keisha, we love you, darling. So glad we got to meet in person. So anyway, so Nick, if you really want to get on, I'll let you get on here, but I want to wrap this up fairly soon so that I can go about my business. It's almost like a night off here. And yeah, she mentioned all of us in her podcast, Acuff Creations. Please check that out on YouTube, and definitely subscribe to her channel. She is a delight. I have subscribed to it, and I believe it's making the hair on top of my head grow back. I think. Well, not yet. But anyway, I feel it growing. I feel it coming back. Don't you feel it growing day by day? People, let a message get through. Anyway, but no. So anyway, unless somebody else has something to say, and don't do that one word thing, because I'm on to you. So I think tonight we will consider this a short broadcast. I appreciate everyone showing up, though. You guys are wonderful. And Cindy says it has been a very emotional day, as some of you must have noticed. Even the wedding cake is in tears. Oh my God, that's hilarious. That is so funny. Oh, Nick, you got to share with these people that video you sent me. It is amazing. It is seriously amazing. And like I said, I've had some friends that have had some medical challenges recently, and I've been concerned for them. But this perked me right up. It was a beautiful thing to watch. Anyway, let's see. Here we go. Angie Duda says, Brian, happy anniversary. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. 30 years is an amazing thing. Going to write a book on marriage. No one would believe it. It's science fiction that anyone could stay married to me for 30 years. That God, that can't be right. But anyway, go have a happy rest of your anniversary. Thank you, Carly. Yeah, in fact, she may be let off early tonight. It's the usual parts thing at the plant. But anyway, take a night off. Enjoy your anniversary. Thank you, Carl Witzman. I appreciate that, man. And okay, I'm off the phone now. You can now have my full attention. Yeah, just as we're all leaving, right, Will? Isn't that the way? Please check out Will's Pillow Talk, though, on the Hanging with Web Show Network. She is amazing. She's a great interviewer. And Brian, you go be a hero for your anniversary. I'm doing okay this year. I really am. It's been a good one. And happy birthday to you, Cookie, Amy Hale, and John Haley. And oh yeah, definitely. And thank you so much, Cindy. I appreciate it. I appreciate everyone's well wishes. I really do. I have the best friends in the world. I sincerely do. And I'm glad I came on here tonight. I was going to rerun an old show, but I thought, no, we'll just make this a quick one here. And which is more than Batman can do. Anyway, anyway, Grant Lanker says, hey, everybody, happy anniversary. Thank you, Grant. I appreciate that. And please, everybody, take time and check out Beowulf #2, now funding on Kickstarter, because we want to see this. And happy anniversary. Thank you, Facebook user. I appreciate that very much. Yeah, Facebook has been not too swift about allowing people's images to be used. And I'm hearing a lot of trouble with Facebook as of late. So if I'm not there at the regularly appointed time, check for me on YouTube. I might leave in a fit of pique. And Will Scholar, don't die, feed Cookie. That's what I've been doing all weekend. Good Lord. Actually, when she comes home, I always have dinner ready for her. I think tonight we're going to have pizza, I think, because it's easy. And send me the link and I'll hop on. Okay, sure. Okay, we're gonna conclude this pretty, let me get this. Okay, no, that's not the place. What the hell? Anyway, okay. Got it. I've not done this before, Nick, so bear with me. And I am going to let's see here, Nick. I'm gonna hit you up on Okay, there you are. All right. And yes, you may, sir. Yes, you may. Here we go. And okay, let me put on, I bought myself a pair of headphones this weekend. Let's turn them on and see if they work. All right, there we go. All right, Nick, we got you there. You're probably already here. So, yeah, we got a pretty pair of headphones. I look like a dork. This is great. Here we go. We're going to add him to the stream here. It says he shows up, and there he is. There he is.
Hey there, folks. How's everybody doing?
Hold on, Nick. Speak again.
Hello?
Hello. My headphones hadn't synced up yet.
Hey, that happens. How are you doing, Brian? I don't know if you realize how happy people are to hear how well you and Cookie are doing, or is my audio just tanked?
No. You're fine. It's I take all responsibility, Nick. It's my show.
Wonderful because, as the backdoor pirate to the Rising Tide Broadcast Network, I can now ambush you with all the questions that people have been asking me about how to do stuff. So you're getting free instant content that the people who should have been following will do. So thank you for coming to your show, Brian. I'm very happy to take over. Now
I'm going out for beer and a pizza now, guys. Real host.
Hey, you know what? I could do what I do on a no-string budget with a semi-smartphone. I can always do a program on that if you ever need, energy or motivation. Much like you'll find tomorrow night at 8:30 on Red Valkyrie Presents, where I'll be running a brand new, as I've been writing it this week, D&D style game module. Not to plug, but hashtag always promote. Now, Brian, I
get the power strip.
Always. This power strip was brought to you by Cindy Kep at www.ckoepp.com. But anyway, I actually, all semi-jest aside, I've been gathering questions from people who want to get into publishing for the person who knows, because I'm like, I want to set up a show where we can ask this. And one of the big questions I get is, how many books of each title do you bring on average? Because a lot of people, you have to put out the money to order it to bring it, which a lot of people getting into don't think about.
Right.
So how much do you bring as stock?
Generally, I have, currently I think I've got about 10 titles right now.
Right.
Most of them are stuff things that I have published, such as the original Skyman Battles the Master of Steam, such as the Haunting Scripts of Bachelor's Grove, or Sandestein, or Volcana, which I can't quite reach. And then I also am published by other people, and currently I am carrying Quest for the Space Gods from Flinch Books, as well as the award-winning Pulp Reality #1 and
that is on my
2.
bedstand right now. #1 is sitting on my bedstand right now.
Oh, excellent! I hope you like it. I really do.
Oh, I enjoy the heck out of it. It's just cursed. Whenever I open it up and I get comfortable, my phone rings.
Yeah, I know.
You can scroll social media all day. No one will bother you. You finally get that where you can smell the paper, and you start fuzzing off, and you're watching, a pirate, an island full of pirates getting beat up by two pilots. Make me say pirates and pilots in the same sentence. You are an evil man, Brian K. Morris. But
I know.
But
subliminal.
The phone rings. Yes. To answer that, yes, she does.
Yes, she
Until
does.
she doesn't,
That
and
too.
then she bites you.
Yes. If you like scratches.
If you. Oh God, the styptic pencil is part of the adult fun kit,
I know, yeah, and it's almost like having a or not weeping angels, but the silence around you. You have to take the little marker with you, and if you look like a tic-tac-toe board, you've seen them.
Well, it's good. Oh, you feel. Rick Bradley mentioned me. I sit down and start. Yeah. I love books, but they're cursed. So you have 10 titles, but how many of each volume do you tend to bring? Awesome, Willow. You were my hero.
Very cool.
You were one of the coolest. I actually caught her broadcast. She's doing amazing, and she's
she's fantastic. She has grown so much just in the brief time I've known her as a broadcaster. She is
absolutely.
She is really. You can tell she was a little nervous starting out, but boy, howdy, is she getting over it now. And I mean that in a good way.
No, I'm sorry. I laughed at a comment because I saw that.
See, you're ahead of me. See, I was trying to catch up. Thank you, Harley. I hope you are too. And hello there. And cool. And if the headphones are comfortable, then who cares what they look like? Obviously, I don't care what I look like. So
I do. Look, I have to have my Cybertech lights, or what's the point?
Those are gorgeous. Those really are.
And I got these for $20 on Amazon. So, they were stupidly fun. Let's say it was something.
Well, definitely don't lose that one. We want to hear that one. I'll tune into the green room for that Fridays at Uncle Carl's Secret Humor. And already a great show. Thank you, Harley. I appreciate that. Yes, Dan, write that down. We need to hear that. So do I.
I cannot be held accountable for anything that may or may not have been said at any given green room in any given rants that may or may not exist.
No.
I had to open the window. The air was blue. But we're doing much better now, folks. Yeah. We might have to talk about consent as a concept with our guests because, you never know how that goes. But that actually would be another great concept to talk about.
Yeah.
But it's funny because I've talked to so many people who were like, Nick, you're actually doing this. I'm like, yes. You said you were going to do this, yes. And you're doing it, yes. Yeah. How much money did you spend? Well, some, but you don't have to.
Yeah.
No, you got to. No, you don't.
No, you don't.
That's
really.
What drives me nuts. The people who are building brick, the world's full of obstacles. We have obstacles. Stop building obstacles in front of yourself that I can't afford it. You got a word processor for free through Google. Just type on it.
Yeah.
And then just go. So, I'm sorry, I just felt the beginnings of not quite a rant, but a comfortable tirade about guys. If you want to do it, ask people like Brian, who we are so thankful for. And someday soon we're
Thank
going to
you.
have FezCon, and we're
We
going to
are.
embarrass you with extreme prejudice. Like you have to know.
Like, I need
I
your
don't know
help.
I don't know if we can arrange a spotlight or something, but oh, you feel me there, Rick Bradley? That's right. You consider yourself
That's why we say at the
blessed.
end of every episode, wash your hands.
Yeah, you never know where I've been. But
That's right. Hi,
that-
Ninja.
Ninja's amazing. He's like one of two people I see everywhere I go outside of the circle, the Rising Tide circle, which I do occasionally. God draw people in somehow. Him and a
Mhm.
fellow by the name of Frog G are like on every broadcast I find commenting. And people don't shout out the people who comment nearly enough.
I know.
We get caught up. And folks like always saying stuff, always building up folks up. I dig it. So thank you on behalf of all the people who, you watch. Bring
That's
the Fez. Ooh.
Yeah, and
Oh,
see,
Willow is always a wow. Whatever's going on.
she
Willow
is.
a
She's
wow.
amazing. She's amazing. And what happens in the green room stays in the sewer. That's true.
That is right. I actually
Rants,
need
what rants, what
a
rants, what am I?
periscope to see the sewer. I was down in the primordial sludge of fury and righteous indignation. But
That was glorious to listen to, though.
My friend Steve wanted to make a whole YouTube video, a whole channel based on me being bad at video games. Because in the right mood, it's just 3 hours of that.
Yeah.
Why do you do it? Because I feel better afterwards. It's cathartic,
Why not? Why not? And from this Small Press Publisher, John, thank you very much for the wonderful show.
Hey, you know what? Hey, I want to shout out John B. PYKA for necessarily flaking out and giving me a third beta style opportunity to just kind of shoot in here and push my stuff like the Historical Fencing Guild, which is on every night at 8/7 Central on every Friday. Every night if you go look
Every
at the other
night,
ones,
wow. You
yeah,
said.
you know what? If you go, there's always something. I've been broadcasting for a couple of years now, so you can find something, and there's no charge, just your sanity. Oh, Dan Hallfield's answering my question. Groovy.
Yeah, which is I didn't finish mine, so. And
Well,
Willow goes, "Oh, please do go on. Thank you for the."
Willow.
Will.
I can, honey, I can go on the glory of your beauty and presence for hours till the
Ditto.
sky is blackened as the stars fall into eternal night. But anyway, sorry. I like to keep sharp once in a while. There are reasons my wife was silly enough to marry me. But yes, you are just a dream, Willow. And what I love is I'm listening to the confidence slowly creep more and more into your voice. And that's really like the tick I see with you is as you get more comfortable, your voice settles a little bit and you get kind of happier because how you talk on, other venues versus when you're in host mode is a little different. And it's really cool to see you get loosened up and be comfortable. And I want to see more of that. So, Brian, who does your taxes?
Cookie.
Because that's the
That
other
was
thing.
easy. Next question.
No. It's funny because I hear people, well, how do you do your taxes? And I go, I don't know. My wife. She's awesome.
She is.
That alone is worth the price of marriage right there, But,
yeah, she's kept me out of prison for a number of years. And plus, Willow has a cute giggle. It's just not her giggle that's cute on Willow. You know what I'm saying?
Giggle in her talk and a wiggle in her walk makes the... Wow, I haven't pulled that song out of the Wayback File in quite a while, but that is all right, folks.
We need to get Willow on this show is what it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
What's
and
wrong
not
with
just
me?
because she's a one-woman boost to all ratings, but...
Yeah, seriously.
Oh, go on, sorry.
Well, anyway, we were getting Harley's comment in there, and that was a smooth segue, Nick. And Joe D. McPhee is laughing at us. He mocks us. And Carlene says, "Oh, taxes. I thought he's asked who does Brian's cactus." That's code. That's code. Sometimes I have to do my own.
I do have a bit of aphasia, and Malifor would be my villain name. We've decided this, so yeah. Nick's subconscious is like the Internet Archive. You have no clue the horrors that lurk in the back of this smiling, leaping gnome's mind. It's beautiful and nightmarish, and it would drive Lovecraft back to sanity, full circle.
I get that reference you just snuck in there, and I can tell you the original person who said that.
Oh, really?
Yes, that leaping gnome thing.
Yes.
That was attributed to Eric Burdon from the song "To Spill the Wine" by War, where he was the lead vocalist. That was said to him by his bass player of the Animals, Chaz Chandler, when the two had a fight one time. Called him an overfed, long-haired leaping gnome. At which point, Eric Burdon launched himself at Mr. Chandler. Mr. Chandler, by the way, when the Animals broke up, went on into record production and management. He was Jimi Hendrix's manager. Wow. And up until his death, I believe he was also the manager for a group called Slade, one of my favorite musical acts ever. Ooh. It's true.
That's cool. See, and that's one thing I love. You are this fount of amazing, like, random knowledge. I aspire to have the kind of depth you have,
if your brain was broken too, you could do this.
The problem, it's a matter of degrees of angle, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, I was a counselor for 30 years. I can imagine it.
Yeah.
Well, Carl, we've had some fairly colorful late night conversations, both in crowded rat rooms, which is what I consider the green room. Like, I hop on if I've had a really difficult show, and I hop on after mine. Mandy knows. Okay, he's got to clear up before it leaves the study.
Yeah.
And then it's like, hi guys, I'm sorry I have to interrupt. The place gets quiet.
Yeah.
And I start pulling up my version of Brother Love, but
and reach your hand out. And Cindy Kemp says, my friend told me to stop impersonating a flamingo. I had to put my foot down.
Sometimes you have to pink it over. It's okay.
There might be kids watching, weirdos. Yeah, they're probably not now. There aren't. And Dan Holyfield, there's a reason Nick and Bill Sarton are drawn to Last Man Standing.
Oh yeah. If it weren't for Medicaid, I don't know how many times I've watched this Dawn come up talking to Dan Holyfield about metaphysics and Appalachian interest points. It's really the flirting at this rate. One would wonder.
And from the Best of Small Press Publisher, Joe D. McPhee says the flirting at this rate, one would wonder if this is admiration or stalking-like behavior. Call it what you will. Either way, I hope Willow enjoys it. I'm sure if she did not, she would let us know, and quickly.
Absolutely, and I follow a very precise set of rules for flirting. Because I never flirt with anyone who would take it serious. I always make sure they're at least 3 above me, which isn't hard because I'm a strong 2 on a good day, But so that there's no league things. I only flirt with like married people or people who can handle it, so that there's no confusion.
With me all the time. I can vouch for that.
Absolutely. Well, Brian, the thing is, I hate to see you go, but I love to watch you leave, man.
I know, and you're such a sweet piece of man candy. I understand that.
Hey, everybody loves the mighty manatee man. And if you can't,
or would kill for the chance to.
You have no idea.
Carly says, "Well, hell, if we're staying longer, I'm firing up another stubby." That's code.
Well, if Brian needs to, all he has to do is leave me an off button. I'll keep prattling to make sure that, because my way of giving back to Brian is by providing as much random, bizarre, and attractive, not physically. Good God, I'm good, but I'm not a magician.
That's
but but like interesting
no question, Carl.
Content.
You and me both.
Oh, wait. Carl Witzman, he's a willow stalker. He's a willow stalker. Watching Willow go by. My.
There's our copyright claim. Anyway.
Well, see, I cut it off at 15 seconds. I have a mental timer going tick, tick, tick. Bullshit must stop here. Pardon my French.
That's right. That's right. And you don't have the 7-second delay like I do.
No,
so
I
anyway,
don't.
You really want to know, Joe? Yeah, Joe, ask. Go for it.
Yeah, hey. Aww.
What do you call two
sweet.
spiders
I
that just got married? Newlyweds.
Oh.
Rick Bradley says, I know when I flirt and I finally get to kiss someone, I try to be firm but not too crazy at the kiss. They could wake up anytime. That explains some of my weird dreams. Okay, thank you.
A kiss while sleeping is the highest form of affection and kindness, unless you're in jail or live alone.
Well, even then. And if you can manage that when you're alone, good luck. You don't need a date. Anyway, I don't think anyone would want to claim that song was theirs. And Joe Dog McHale is back, so be warned. And Carly,
Joe Dog, I'm ready for your shenanigans. Brian brought backup. He's got gunners today.
That's right.
I'll roll for the Fez.
I will. I'll just go out for a pizza. You guys won't even miss me. And mocking us with his laughter from this from Small Press Poster. Can we make this an early green room when I answer Carly's question?
No, they must be submitted in triplicate to her business email. No, us.
That's right. Yes, and then posted onto the internet for everyone to see. And Rick, you should time the anesthetic more carefully. Well, if you picked up a copy of the Mad Gaster Cheerleader of Calhoun County, available now in Lulu from Carl Witzman, you'll be a happier person. Anyway,
you beat me by my stammer. I got outplugged by the master. And you know what? I accept it. There's nothing wrong with seeing somebody with a faster draw. I respect that one.
You got to be fast with this crowd. If you aren't, man, they will kill you. They will eat you alive. They smell your fear. Mankind has a perfect record in aviation. We never left one up there.
Well, see, that's because most people don't stop and throw themselves at the ground and miss enough. It's not that hard. You just have to go to the Arthur Dent School of Avionics.
That's right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I know that
it
one.
Was bulldozed. Of course you do. You're a man of culture.
Exactly.
Hey, anytime, Carl. Anytime.
We're glad to. That's what these shows are about. And Joe, we can talk if that's what you want to call it. And 2 cannonballs got married this morning. I heard they were already expecting BBs.
Oh, Cindy, you're on such a roll. Just keep bowling them down like that.
I know. It's saying a child's laughter is sweet unless it's 3 a.m. and you have no children. I can confirm this. Even if you have children, their laughter at 3 a.m. is still creepy AF. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and I may be married, but I'm not dead. I've been saying that for years about myself. Flirting should be allowed. You just can't act on your impulses. What I've been telling Cookie for years is it doesn't matter where I work up an appetite as long as I come home to eat. So,
absolutely. And a lot of times flirting is just I don't know. There's an old set of rules. I know it. I don't know where I learned it. I just understand that, if somebody puts effort to look good, it's rude not to flirt with them a bit.
Exactly.
Exactly. And that's if they can't, if you can tell they can't handle or it's not their thing, you don't flirt with them. It's complex, but still present. I think it's still important.
I agree with you. And, years ago, bless you, I had one of my friends who was married before I was. I always flirted with his wife. I still do. And one day I was suggesting some things that probably in Illinois were illegal at the time. And she was giggling and teeing and all. And my friend was saying, how come when when Brian says it, you start giggling like a schoolgirl. And when I say it, you tell me to go to hell. And she just looked at him without even breaking, to think about it. She says, because Brian makes it sound like fun.
I may or may not have been punched in similar circumstances, and we'll just keep on rolling.
And Harley savors the taste of our fear. And Christian Basil says, everyone stop typing. Oops, yeah, right. Oops. I don't think so.
No, that boy, I love him, but he tried to tell Cindy Kep.
And
this audience, that was who he directed it.
This audience.
Not just he respond. No, don't mess with her. I'm not saying.
Oh no, she killed a man in Reno just to watch him die.
She doesn't have to.
That's right.
Cindy gets to keep clean hands because men like us exist.
Exactly, and Cindy has built up an enormous amount of goodwill around here. So
absolutely,
we love her.
What no one knows is the Syndicate Mafia is one of the it's probably the third most powerful organization known to.
The Yakuza just step back. They say, we're out of here. We are so out of here. And this is not fair. Even the voices in my head went back to sleep. And Carlene agrees with you. Andrea says I'm a flirt and it doesn't get her mad because that's just my nature. Also, I never expect anyone to be flirting back. Yeah, I hear you. And from this one, Small Press Publisher, I don't flirt. Too much trouble comes from it. But then again, people I'm around can't take ego boosting well. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Yeah.
Well, and you have to read the room. Like
you do.
Really,
you do.
You have to read the room, and when in doubt, don't. It is not a amateurish game to play.
Yeah, and you better be prepared to take the consequences too. And there is no art to flirting, says Dan Hollifield, just enough to be complimentary, but not enough to be stalky. Okay, now that's where I'm going wrong. And here we go. Will is going to set us straight. Honey, I work in customer service. There's customer service and there's customer service. If I don't flirt, I don't get the good tips. I'm not allowed to wear the low cut shirts at work. Yeah, Cookie won't let me do it either. Say, wait, it was directed at Cindy?
Yeah.
And I'm really nice to people. Some take that as flirting, says Angie. Well, so to some people, anything not bordering on outright hostility is seen as flirting. So,
and some people don't receive a compliment. I mean, like some of us really go vast periods of time without anybody being kind enough to say, "Hey, you look nice." So it can be baffling.
Oh yeah. And Carly agrees with Will. I got good at flirting, waiting tables back in college. There we go. I'll tell you one of my favorite flirters was John Steed of the original Avengers.
It's scary. God, it's scary how in sync we are sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, there are people who formed who I am.
Yes.
You know, like, I decided that is what a man should be. Tom Baker's doctor is one of them. Mm-hmm. John Steed is another. I mean, like, him and David Suchet's Poirot, which is funny because there's a gentleman who was almost asexual in his behaviors, but flirted with an elegance that that character was just it was delightful and so witty.
Yeah.
And so that's I realize it's weird because I grew up in the 80s to 90s and most of the heroes were like the Rambo, Dolph Lundgren, Schwarzenegger clones, and they were all these like solve every problem with belt-fed machine guns.
Yeah.
And then I look at who influenced me, and it was all these little, odd British people. But then again, there isn't much I wouldn't do for Diana Rigg then or now. I mean,
I'll tell you, his golden moment for me was the pilot episode of The New Avengers. Which I love the New Avengers, Joanna Lumley. Oh my God. And there's a moment where she's in this little B&B or whatever, and she hears a rapping on her outside window, and there hanging by his umbrella is Steed. And so he's debriefing her on what she had found out so far about the case. And she's like, Steed, where are you going? And he's like, well, I've got someplace to stay. And she's like, you sure you don't want to stay here? And he goes, madam, don't you know it's dangerous for a beautiful young woman to be alone all night with a man or with a gentleman? And she just smiles and says, Steed, you're no gentleman. And he smiles back and says, yes, that's the danger. Golden moment.
Joanna Lumley's another name that you don't hear enough, so you're not prepared for. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah. Isn't she a dame now? Didn't she get like somewhat knighted or something?
I think so. I believe so. I know she's certainly of a class to have, but
oh my God,
so.
Yeah, and she still does some broadcast work. I mean, I loved her in Ab Fab, and she's a former Bond girl too.
Yes, she is.
Yes, and I've seen her in several shows, but she's also done some travelogues and stuff that have been just absolutely amazing. And Harley Slavic says in here, I thought reading a book was difficult. Well, time to admit I'm not smarter than a fifth grader. They mock me. And Carl Witzman, can I put in a writing idea? Sure. Yeah, let's do this thing. Let's build up to it.
You're in a room full of plagiarist piranhas. Throw that meat in the water.
Go for it. And Joe Dog McHale says, if I flirt, the other person could stop shy of getting naked, and I would totally miss it. Welcome to my single years.
Totally one directional. I can flirt all day. any response, and I have no clue what to do. Like I short circuit and just like,
you know. Yeah. I was at real quickly. I was at a party one time when I was single, and one of the people there had her eye on me, and I thought that one other person. I was a little intoxicated, and I thought one other person in the room was making more headway than I was. And I thought, well, I'm just going to go walk home and everything. And some friends were starting to leave. And I said, hey, could I get a ride with you? And this woman launched herself from across the motel room where we were partying and pinned me down and would not get up until they left. So it started to dawn on me at that moment that there was more going on than I realized. I mean, I'm a little slow, but I will catch up to you eventually. Rick Bradley says, I can literally have someone flirting quite hardcore with me and I would not notice. Poor Andrea had to literally throw herself at me. I'm pretty clueless, I'll admit. Well, when I asked Cookie a little over 30 years ago to take me in Wedded Blitz, I said, or actually my line was, I proposed to her in late January, and I had this vision of being real fancy about it on Valentine's Day in the next year or the next month. And I said, if this were next month, I'd propose. And she took the flat of her hand, like right here, and went wham right in the center of my forehead. And she said, try it. She recognized immediately that the subtlety was useless. Here we go. Carl Wesson says, I'm starting the sequel to Mad Gasser Cheerleader. Yay. And in it, I mentioned a YouTube video about the gasser. Then I thought, why not make an actual video like it was real? Manatee Man, wondering if that would be a good marketing ploy. How do you multiple choice?
Absolutely. What is it? Augmented reality was a big thing, and it's one of those that creeps and then comes back.
Yeah.
Where building multimedia, building little things, everything I do for all my stuff always has a secondary feed. And I'm always looking for more ways to repurpose every bit of work. And so doing something like that is great. It's like I found one of my art apps I found has a record option as I draw.
Oh, nice.
Now, there are a lot of channels out there that do, live feeds. A couple of my favorites, The Drawvy Show. So I'm looking at this and I'm like, wait a second. You mean every time I draw on this thing, I could record it, clip it down automatically, and throw it up on YouTube? So now I have the image that goes up on my DA account. Now I can always sell that or use it. So if I'm doing that, this is where you get in the way my mind works. I do an image for, say, Big Stompy Robots. Mm-hmm. On that image, I have the cover of a new book or a new unit. I throw it up there on DA. It has a link to Big Stompy Robots. The video goes on to my secondary YouTube channel, the Nicholas Talkert channel, where I do art and POV stuff. It's coming back in a big way in a few weeks. Okay. I've just been kind of busy. I want to hit with a plan in the ground rather than just building the bridge as I'm running across it.
My strategy. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, hey, that's what got me to Luke in 2020. Between I used you as an anchor, and I don't want to brag, but I did actually get paid recently for something. So you can do this and get paid.
I get people jobs.
Yes,
I'm like the New York Times classified section. I got my job through.
Seriously, I heard you had a gap. I'm like, fat guy running across the house. Wait, I can hop on and steal Brian's show? Hold on, hood slide.
Yeah.
Because, if you make it your shtick to be shameless, nobody bugs you when you're shameless. But,
6 or 7 years in running.
and then once you have, like I said, I have the image, I have the video, I cross-link everything on what social media I have, but then it's all my goal is to build a gestalt, and because people ask me, well, how do you make money when nobody knows you? And I said, you don't make big money. If you go out there, I'm going to sell a book and I'm going to make $1 million. You won't, and you'll burn out and you'll just fry. Mm-hmm. There's some months I only make a few cents off of KDP's, the Kindle Read thing. Mm-hmm. But then I get my money from my Patreon project, and I get a money from doing things with Luke. I got drafted to do an art show that was paid. Do custom art at the show. Bam, 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 bam. That, and what you do is you get all these little streams coming in, and a few of them start to be not. It's never fire and forget, but it's still there. And people are asking me, how do I do it? I'm like, this is how I do it. And I'm just a little tiny guy crawling up out of the muck. And I'm looking up at the grandeur, which is, Brian K. Morris astride his stallion, holding up his saber, charging into independent publishing and leading an army of lunatics. So, yeah, see? So it's like, if this works for me, I figure you have to be doing a similar system, but larger. And then I look at the Rising Tide Broadcast Network and I go, oh, no, I don't see these lines just like, I mapped a little stream over here. I look at the river pattern over here and go, oh, this is how he's going to bring Cookie home. Hashtag bring Cookie home. And if you're not supporting Brian, please do. He's got a tip jar. He never remembers to remind it. He has a Patreon, folks. He never remembers to ask people to hop on the Patreon, $1 a month. Yes, please. Just give the man money. I should be subtle about it, but this is not a day of subtlety. I'm wearing 2 Prince of Hawaiian shirt here. I have my hat because it's hot in the study, and this. No subtle. Give merch. There is merch. And what's great is Brian's going to do some tiny giveaways if I know him, so that his merch shows up on other people's channel, because I'm looking to do the same thing. Oh, wait. I should not have said that.
Oh, not you.
Not me. No. And I have other things that I'm looking at those 3 dang letters and I'm shaking my fist of NDA. But trust me, when stuff comes out, people are going to be like,
yeah.
And exactly. I'm excited.
Well, you should be. You should be proud, man. And by the way, when you start launching your other channel, it's going to get grandfathered into Rising Tide Broadcasting. Okay.
Now, see,
I don't even need to know it.
There's a glitch in YouTube right now where they're not letting me change to the custom URL. I have the viewers, I have all the stuff. It's just it's glitching about changing the URL.
So there is a way around that.
And while I haven't broadcast it yet, I'm teaching myself this little program people keep using around here with a little duck on the screen for us poverty and
stuff. Yeah.
See, I love ducks because, I'm sitting here still, but my feet are just going beneath the water line, Absolutely. And I'll support any company that will help me do what I do and not charge me stuff. That's...
Well, I have the pro version, and I will say, it is so very worth it.
And that's the kind of thing that happens when I get stability in my stream. Because right now it's kind of pulsy. And I look back, and if you're on KDP especially, go to your reports and just start blowing up back and see the rise and fall, because you'll find that people buy your books at certain months. And a lot of people don't want to do that background stuff, and they keep coming to me like, well, who's doing, how do you do, you sell stuff, I can't sell anything. Well, are you selling it, or are you putting it up on a pedestal and hoping the gods of commerce will descend upon the masses and spread it?
Yeah, or are you even mentioning it at all?
Yeah. And do you give back, or do you just show up, buy my stuff?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's something I tell people who see this show and the other ones as a platform for them to promote their Kickstarters. And I say, no, come in. If you want long-term stability, come in and let people get to know you. Start involving yourself in the conversation. Grant Lankert did just that.
Oh, yeah.
Brian Rodman did just that. Eric Hawkins has done just that. And in making friends, he's also made a support system on these shows. I had somebody a few months ago say, basically, well, I have a Kickstarter, put me on your show. And I was trying nicely to tell him that I don't care that you have a Kickstarter. I care that you have something to say, however. And I said, but in the meantime, here is the promotional outlet I'll let you use that I am in control of. If you go on there, and I also suggest going on, never mind the furthermore, and just interacting with people. And he said, well, thank you, and didn't do a thing. Then about 2 months later, sent me another message saying, well, when are you going to schedule me for your show? I didn't even reply.
You know what? You just need to set up the monthly Brian Shills Fest. You want a show to plug your stuff, I know there was one about really brief elevator pitches.
Yeah.
But it's the whole, if I don't know you, you're going to have to pay a fee. And no, I'm serious. You want
No.
I
do that. I actually do that. I do also suggest that they sponsor the show, just like Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you.
And you know what's great about folks like Plasma Fire Graphics and like the good folks at Christian Basil's outlet, the Legends of the Traveling TARDIS.
Right.
When you mention somebody like that, there's always a quality. You know, you're not sitting here, and anybody who watches my show knows I love to stop and go, now I want to remind you, I am not brought to you by Game Shady Stories. Game Shady Stories is the most obnoxious product known to man that interrupts every desperate YouTube channel I watch with their graphics to fill up your phone and steal your data. You know?
And I used to work in PBS, so I'm used to shilling.
Well, yeah, but see, PBS had this crazy idea that we're putting out content. Maybe you should pay us for it, and that's kind of been my model, which means I have about that PBS profit margin of please dog paddle above water. But you know what? Yeah. Sometimes it's worth it because sometimes I nail a banger of a situation like with Luke, or what happened at the library when you want to make money. I got one because people ask me flat out, how do you make money?
How do you make money?
If you take a contract, meet your freaking contract. And I'm sorry, I'm not bashing anybody because I will tell you, if you fail to meet a contract and there is an opportunity, as I'm demonstrating right now, I will meet your contract if it's within my power and get your money. And I will hold it up like this. I go, this would have been yours, but now it is mine.
And Nick is holding up the exact amount that I pay my guests. So just
for
full transparency.
Spread it around.
Yeah, make it rain, Nick. Make it rain.
You know what? I'm going to say this, Brian, and it goes against something I normally would say about anyone. You are the only person I've ever met who has paid in exposure and been worth every cent.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know how many people have? Well, if you do this for me, no, I have had my artwork in 38 countries due to different ad campaigns, and made only a couple very small amounts of money for what I did because it's going to get out there. Does anybody realize when they restructure it that my name block has been shrunk down to 0.5 of a font where I write my name?
Yeah.
If you notice my pictures that I put out on www.deviantart.com/NickT, you're going to find I'm making my name blocks bigger. I used to be very subtle. It was about respect the art. It's like if I'm doing a sketch and I'm like, I kind of dig this, that name is going to be at least a 10th of the page. There's going to be a block where
it worked for Al Hirschfeld.
Because you got to put your stuff out there and you got to diversify. I was just watching another video about a guy who got in and he ended up designing the I think it was Luke's show. He was designing the good to know, Brian.
Yes, Angie's
is that your wife?
Yes.
I mean,
Angie
well, the problem is you married a good woman. Good women don't sleep with married men. Think about it.
Except you. Cookie sleeps with a married man, has almost every night for 30 years. So, but she has you, see, and poor Grant. And my influences for 30 and 40s actors, and for hopefully she strokes. Okay, that's enough out of you, Jody McBee. And hell, Harley, I was backup English teacher for my sister's son. We were starting to think we weren't going to make it to third grade. And gotta go and start up dinner. Everyone's saying, "Hey, Rick, thank you for being here, brother. We'll see you tomorrow morning. But you're so cute, Grant, especially with that long hair. How could someone not flirt with you? Yeah, man, Candy. How could we not? Cindy Cap says, keep your marriage brimming with love in the loving cup. Whenever you're wrong, admit it. Whenever you're right, shut up. From Ogden Nash. That is true. And yeah, that was a fairly good clue, Brian. Yeah. It takes something subtle like that to get through to me. And you actually went down to a 3 count before you caught a clue. I thought I was bad. Yeah. But unlike Bruce Wayne, never mind. And I think you're doing those Madcaster video, like a spooky pasta thing. Lots of them on YouTube. Yeah, seriously, Carl, you live in Danville, Illinois. If you could make the costuming happen, and I happen to sleep with a costumer, by the way, you have the Danville acting people there who might want to just show up for a credit or in your film. Let them know. And if you need any fat bald guys, let me know. And Carl, that would be cool. I would think like a mock urgent news break-in, or depending on the time it takes place, like a movie tone news.
You know who you should call, Carl? You should see if you could get a little bit of Louis Lee's time. He's a professional newscaster. If there's anyone on the planet who could present, now I don't know if he'll do it. I'm not, I'm volunteering without, which is a horrible habit. Yeah. But like, the worst he can say is no. But that I could see him having fun with that kind of project.
Yeah, I could too. I think he has the right voice for the spooky pasta. I think he meant creepy pasta, and that's a good idea too, Eric. And mock news breaking, Carl. I know a guy. Yes, he does. And there's a term they use on YouTube. What the kids are calling it, Carly? Oh, great, Grandpa is trying to talk like the kids. Word up, Carly. Yo. And Brian gonna make someone a billionaire. Just make sure you tip him after you do. That's right. And we have the deal sealed here. Of course, Carl can use that beautiful illustration on the front of the Madgasser cheerleader of Calhoun County, available now from Lulu.com. And facepalm, and thank you, the Eric Pornsack Hawkins. And Carl, when you need a soundtrack, Dan Holofield works cheap. Is this coming together or what? And Keisha mentioned your great cover art on her A-Cuff Creations podcast, too. That's true. That was a beautiful thing. You did great, Keisha. And Carl, did you see Joe Dog's comment? You're going to need help. Well, he does anyway. And speaking of which, we need to talk about a possible RPG project.
To whom are you referring? Because, I have to see.
You
always hit me up. I don't have an exclusivity clause yet. That would take bank. I will accept bank.
That's true. And if you need help writing, I have helped write RPGs in the past. And thanks, Joe Dog and Dan and Eric, too. And create commercials for Brian like I did. Promote others, and it will come back to you. Definitely.
Absolutely.
And need the clever title logo in the corner. Well, yes, we do. We're working on something. See, one reason I don't run something in the corner is that generally if I have a panel, I have somebody sitting in that corner. So I have gotten out of the habit of doing that. So
see, you need to invite me on more of your panels because I have a face for radio, so no one will mind if I'm covered by a logo. They might thank you for it.
If I could get to cover the left side of the screen, I'd be grateful. Anyway, Carl Wisman says, I don't even like comic book much, but I bought comics from people here and contributed to Kickstarters because I knew the folks from here. There you go. And that's why so many people went in on this. And the gods of commerce, I'm a man of little faith of them. Get people to like you and or the product, and the sales will come, says from the desk of a small press publisher. Check them out Saturday nights at 10 p.m. Always a great show. And Amy Hale, mwah! Rick Bradley, thank you. We have spotty connection, so I'm only seeing stuff randomly. We talk randomly, so that kind of works out. No, that's
just me. I speak broken English with stutter. Your power is not sufficient. Oh, sorry. Yeah. I went in.
And I have a 7-second delay, and Nick got paid more than me. Yeah, probably.
Give it time.
That's right.
Brian is. See the BS that is generated. And it starts in the morning.
Bankable sales. What did you think?
Yeah, bankable sales are generated. BS is generated by never mind the furthermore. We stack it up and it steams all day, all week till you hit the glory of clever title pending, and then they just harness that beautiful manure and lay it out, and green leaves of cash just grow up. It's a wonderful thing. It's magical, folks.
It is.
And I am
magical.
sorry, I don't have my goat juice right now, so my energy is a little low. I came running
You're
in.
doing fine.
I
You're
hope
doing more
I'm
than
not
fine.
too slow or boring for you folks.
You're not boring in the least, buddy. And he can make it rain. I can't make it sprinkle, says Jody McPhee, and he mocks us with his laughter. Joe, you need to knock your ceiling fan down. It gains viewers like crazy. Well, Cindy
you know
Kemp
what?
learned this too.
Breaking scenery worked for me.
There you go. See, and Carl talking about Danville acting people. There is Strange Paul. Oh, yeah. Okay, I think I know who you mean. And oh crap! Now I remember what I was forgetting. Grant Lankard, message incoming. And Bill Field, hello. Howdy to you, my ombudsman. How are you tonight? Good to see you. And Eric Hawkins, I have the perfect person to make creepy breathing sounds for the Mad Gasser Rodman. Brian Reed. Rodman.
Is it terrible that there's a part of my brain that just went, all he needs to do is hit record during his next asthma attack?
Yeah.
I mean, no, you don't waste anything, if you can.
Yeah. Well, in fact, also you should also watch Jody McPhee's From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher last Saturday when Brian Rodman was the guest and his co-stars of Comic Book Spectrum went on to harass him, and it was kind of fun for me because I'm the target of this kind of crap, and it was so refreshing to see somebody else have to take it. So it was really great. Yeah, and the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS says, I thought I smelled dollar store talcum powder. Sir, you smell it wherever you go. That's your clue.
Hey, bootleg Gold Bond works for me. I'm fat and I approve of that. It's been 97 degrees and 80% humidity. You bet we're... man, I look like Tony Montana over... Say hello to my little friend,
He's got more gas around him than the Question in the old Steve Ditko comic. Cindy Cap says, why don't we use swords anymore? Aren't they still cutting edge technology?
I
agree. And Cindy would post a joke about sword fighting, but it's a riposte. And Steve,
well, thank you very much.
Yes. Yes, and Cindy is learning a few new Tai Chi forms. I invented some new moves. Trip on the hair edge of the rug, smack the ceiling fan, attack the hair, and run out of room. I run out of room frequently. And if a fencer loses a duel by getting disarmed, does that make him a sword loser?
He has to give you a hand for that one,
I'll give you two. Bravo.
Well done, pun. That pun was par 3. Well done.
And we are inexplicably caught up with the comments next.
Well, see, that's because people aren't used to the full... this is a double barrel.
That's right.
I mean, to get this kind of impact, you need Elvira on a trampoline. This is double barrel impact, just spreading joy and energy outward. Boom. Wait, let me get to the rhythm. Okay, there we go.
I'm sorry, I was just imagining.
Sorry, we're a couple of boobs.
Yeah, never mind. I'm not going that part. And Joe Dog says, now wait a minute. Bootleg Gold Bond Chatham Drug is in my stock portfolio. And
hey, I'm
and Carl Winston says, okay, that was a good one. And Jody McPhee says, Cindy for the win. We have a winner.
It's good.
She scores.
You guys,
that's because everyone is laughing so hard. That's right, Dan. That's what we do here.
You guys really should follow the Historical Fencing Guild's public group, because Cindy's actually putting videos of her progress.
I've seen them, yes.
So cool, guys.
They are.
That's what I love to see. People like learning and reaching and getting better and developing. And it takes such courage to record yourself to see your own progress.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's it's the energy. I feed on that. I'm like, yes, positive vibes.
Oh yeah.
And that's what's great.
Yeah, and that's the way I feel when somebody actually asks for advice on publishing, and I give them something based on my experience, and it actually works. And they succeed as a result, and I'm like, this makes me happy. Yeah. I had somebody who years ago would call me up. A mutual friend gave him my phone number. I'm still plotting revenge. But the guy would call me up and talk for an hour and a half, and it would be like, well, how do I do this? Well, here's what I would do. Well, I don't want to do that. Well, then you might try this. Well, I don't want to do that either. Well, here's something you might give it a shot. Okay, I'll do that. And then he didn't do it. And then he'd come back, well, I didn't do what you said, but why didn't what I did work for me? And I'm like, finally, I'm going to stop talking to you because you're sucking up my time. You're stealing my energy. We probably could get you for theft just for your using my same atmosphere.
There's a term for those people. And I have to be
Yes.
careful to speak it because my impediment will get a hold of this word.
Right.
Assholes.
Yes, thank you.
I really, because I have people like that who will, ask me about, because I have diverse, I'm kind of all over the place, obviously. And it'll be, well, I want to learn how to sword fight. Okay, you want to learn how to sword fight? I have a book. There's other ways. I put it all in video if you can't read. I've literally sat and read my book to people who had mechanical reading difficulties. Their dyslexia was strong enough they physically couldn't read. So I spent hours sitting there with them, going through the book word for word so that they could learn and talk it through. And through the other manuals for the group we were in because they couldn't function otherwise. If you put in the work, you'll get there. But these people are like, oh, no. Well, can't you just do it for me? And I don't think there's a person on this feed who hasn't had somebody, I got an idea. You write the book and I'll make $1 million.
Was it you? I don't remember who gave me this. No, it's somebody else. I got this link. J. Michael Straczynski.
Okay,
the creator of Babylon 5 did something for JaneFriedman.com this last week, and he mentions that. And whenever somebody comes up to him, like on Facebook, and says, I've got this great idea, you write it, we'll split it 50-50, the first thing he does is block them. Well, and I'm like, genius. Because I think we've all gotten that.
Look at what happened to the man. Babylon 5 was originally going to be a Star Wars pitch. He pitched it to Paramount. Yeah. Paramount said, no, we don't want to do it. He went off to make it. Within a few months, they put out Deep Space Nine with most of the same plot points as major arcs. It turned out to be the best Star Trek that came out, even though it destroyed the timeline. I love it.
Yeah, I do too.
And some of the same character names. They're like, oh, it's not a ripoff. Yes, folks. Yes. Like, this is a hill I will die on, and I will take others with me. I am comfortable. But, so yeah, once you've been burned, that's why I was just talking to Luke, that people were talking about how the independent comics, community is this thing. And then you hear people, it's an industry. And independent publishing can be that way. Mm-hmm. And outside of Rising Tide, because you really are the exception to the rule, I find most, independent communities in anything are communities when you're doing free stuff for them. But they become rigid industries when it comes time to collect something your way.
Right.
And I lost 150 character designs, I want to say 75-page plot synopsis for a role-playing game and a video game. I had been writing out the flow chart that you give to the programmers, if this, then this kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And the guy took everything. It was a joint folder. And like an idiot, I had not backed it up. Took everything, probably a year and change, and walked. It just disappeared.
Oh,
it showed up, something fairly similar showed up in a Chinese, one of the rip-off projects. And of course it crashed and burned because they couldn't sell it right, but I've been burned bad, and that's why I think the vetting you do here, because whether there's a difference between gatekeeping and TSA, and you really you're the wrong kind of a-hole. I mean, he's an a-hole, but he's one of our a-holes, and we understand his rules. You're the wrong kind of a-hole. Just mosey on,
Yeah.
And that's created this sort of shallow tropical water where people can grow, And that's why I hop on these shows to remind you how important what you do is. I mean, you buoyed us all the way through 2020. I don't think I could have stayed as sane relatively as I am, having been pretty much locked down a year before 2020 hit, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm still 2 weeks from getting out, really,
Mm-hmm.
because, I have to have my immunity and my son's immunity before I'm comfortable doing a lot of things.
Agreed.
But you did so much, and I had people like, I asked them, please comment on Brian's show. Well, I don't want to interrupt, but I watch it. You share it every morning, and then I watch it in the afternoon. And it's like the silent watchers who are afraid to bother you or interrupt. I'm like, have you met this man? Well, no. Yes, you have. This is not a persona. This is Brian.
Yeah.
He wakes up
Sorry,
in the morning,
folks, this is me.
holds his arms out. Jarvis puts the fez on his head. It's
Yeah. No, I just have the AI suit that just puts it on me. So it's all good.
Yeah, absolutely. But so it's like, that's why when I saw, and my net had glitched just a little bit because they reset everything. I saw that you didn't have your guest, and I'm like, I've been there. I gotta find a way to mess with this. It's like, I hate to put it that way, because like, if I couldn't have gotten on, I would have been just bombing your and I apologize to the people who don't know that I instant message people who are having a hard time during their live streams. But this is a habit of mine, where it's like, oh, you're having a hard guest or somebody's messing with you. Like, I'm going to be like, here's something silly coming through. But I had a chance to get on and harangue you a little bit random. This is like the highlight of my month right now. Because, we got all these great people, and this is what a con should feel like. This is what a virtual con should feel like. Mm-hmm. I just like, I can't eat it now, but I want Denny's and like crappy coffee at 3 a.m. and to laugh at the stoners in the corner. I'm sorry, my Michigan City is showing a little bit, but
yeah,
and that's what I feel like. I get up in the morning on Monday, Wednesday, Friday for never mind the Furthermore, which everyone should be watching at 10 a.m. And if you're not, but I'm not, guys. I know you wake up and you're just like, okay, I got to read whatever's on my mind today, and then I got to find something. But Brian's show makes such a wonderful distraction and way to just get motivated, and where else can you talk to people like you and the people in the chat? The cross chat is amazing, and ask them whatever's on your mind. It doesn't really
subtly. Thy name is Nicholas.
Absolutely. The trick of it, you have to blend great commentary on screen and great commentary in the comments themselves, like some kind of hybrid. Anyway,
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's it's like, it's almost like a quest. If you aren't if you aren't careful, otherwise you're digging your own grave. I'm telling you.
Absolutely.
So,
I don't mean to stomp bigly all over your stuff, but we can.
Yeah, and it's amazing what you can create with just a little bit, right?
Yeah. You know what? Round for us, because that was the best applied capitalism.
Bravo, Nick! Bravo! Well done, sir. Well done.
That's how it's done, friends.
This is how we do it.
Because like I did research, and I'm like, what do you want to know from people who actually do independent writing and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
And it's, most people just don't want to do it. It's like, literally, your phone comes with the free word processor. All of you are on Facebook or Instagram or whatever. This show has said this. Switch over to a word processor. Write whatever is on your mind. Throw it up on KDP. If you don't know if it's good, if you know it's good and it's of quality, send it to Brian to have him tell you you're wrong, and then how to fix it.
Yeah.
But see, because that's pub in risingtide.pub. Publishing. Let him help make money making you money, folks.
Yeah.
But just doing it, and it drives me nuts, because like, I am a product of, I watched computers hit. I went from, how do you tell what time it is? I'm not allowed to watch. I break them. Street lights on, my butt better be at home, Which is funny when you're in the woods looking for that one little window that lets you see the one street light above the garage, a quarter mile away.
Right.
But, and now I'm carrying an advanced freaking word processor, I could do image editing that would have smoked my first 6 or 8 computers. Generationally, just smoke them. Most people are like, oh, I chat on it and maybe play Angry Birds. It's like, you guys, you have the toolkit to run a NASCAR garage, and you won't even change the oil on your Accord. I'm sorry, but the tools are there and they're free. Trust me, I broke. This is a major business expense to tell you, the level of money I throw out.
There we go. And it makes phone calls too.
You can call people who know what they're talking about, and if you're nice and you listen, it's like they will tell you what they did. And if you do what they did, you'll get a similar result. It's almost like math.
Math is hard, though. Math is hard. Barbie told us that. Anyway, back to the comments.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. Elvira and young Dolly Parton on a tribe. Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
Absolutely. There is an image of Elvira and Dolly Parton as a yin-yang.
Yeah.
That's been floating around. And I need to get it for my wall, because those were the 2 female influences of my way inappropriately young youth. I didn't know why at 4 or 5 I wanted Dolly Parton to be my babysitter. I just knew that Dolly Parton would make a great babysitter, and Elvira had the best movies about giant space broccoli eating people.
Exactly. I still want Dolly Parton to be my babysitter.
Who doesn't?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And Cindy Kemp was about to invent a circular sword, but then I thought, what's the point?
What's the point? I like how you hula around that one.
Yeah, exactly. We know we'd get around to that joke anyway. Carl Whistle says they're also psychic vampires, suck out your energy. Exactly.
They literally exist. Absolutely.
Seriously, I've worked for a couple. And Cindy Cap says, what happens when 2 samurai got into an argument? It might take a while, but they'll sort things out eventually.
You really are a cut above, Cindy.
My God. Just slicing through the BS here. Broadcast services. Anyway, Joe Dog McKeel says, Nick, all over the place. Surely you jest. I know. Don't call you Shirley. And there's our third comment up of the night. And Nick, when people tell me that
You what?
Oh, my God, he's disappeared.
They got him!
The aliens got him. Sword Swallower found dead. The police suspect it's an inside job. I simply tell them it's my book at that point. I did the work. I get the credit. And if the blacksmith forges a sword, says Cindy Kemp, who sells it? Whoever smelled it, dealt it.
The problem with forging a sword is getting the kinks out. But
getting the kinks out is what the green room is for. But anyway, CKOEPeople.com. And Dan Olifield, I'm glad someone else realizes the truth of the timeline between JMS starting to peddle the idea of B5 and the appearance of DS9 on TV. Oh, most definitely.
It is.
Nick, I think Lydia just knocked on your floor. Might be time to nail that floorboard down a little better.
No, see, today's her day off. She wanders the graveyard and eats the souls of unweary teenagers. It's part of the contract. These things happen. But yeah, about B5, the neat thing about B5 is there was an air of spite to it, and I don't think that series would have been so good if JMS wasn't so raw, torn up from the bottom of his soul, PO'd at Paramount. So it just... and sometimes you need that. Sometimes you need to get messed over hardcore so that you can succeed in the name of vengeance,
Hashtag fueled by spite. Yep, that's me. And Cindy Kemp says, the first time I tried a collaboration with another writer, he hijacked my storyline, then told me it was no longer my idea. I got my IP back, but it required a contract dividing the parts. Wow, that's right, Cindy. I forgot about that. I've heard of that happening so many times, or a partner who kills the contract because they're tired of working on it and yours just getting warmed up. I think a lot of us have horror collaboration stories, but then again, sometimes we get some good collaborations like tonight. And Cindy Kemp says, my grandfather was a very talented blacksmith. He could do all sorts of things. And hell, Nick, you just described. That's right. And Nick, you just described HalloCon, October 29th and 30th. Check that out. Go to halocon.com.
Really want to more than you guys know. I just have to check some other things out, unfortunately.
Oh, it'll be worth the drive, brother. I think I'm looking at about an 8-hour-ish drive. And that'll add about another half hour to 40 or about 45 minutes for you. Yeah. So Nick, that's why Stupid O'Clock works. Yes, and plugs all around. That's right. It's almost like the hair club for men around here. And Dan Hollifield says all you need is the starter kit. Hey, Brian. Yep, that's right. Operators are standing by now. And don't bring cheese to a sword fight, says Cindy Kemp. But if you do, make sure it's extra sharp. And she found a sword she could buy for really cheap. It was a steal. And the computer that powered the first manned space flights aren't as powerful as a calculator you can hold in your hand. In fact, many wristwatches now have an internal memory chip that is actually higher powered than what went into Apollo 11. And once a man named his cat Spoon, Fork, and Knife. They were his catlery. You're a gem, Cindy. CKOEPP.com.
She's perfect.
She is. She's amazing. And so are you, Nick.
Oh, no. I'm just a force of benevolent chaos breaking loose on your channel.
There we go.
I'm waiting to get the axe at any moment. The goggle ring and the... Just...
Oh, nonsense, Nick. That would never happen to you. No, you don't have to worry about a thing.
I love it. Set Spike. Good God.
Oh, that's why I tell people familiarize yourself with the controls here at StreamYard if you have a pro version.
Absolutely, because I feel like Martin Short next to your Dean Martin on this one.
That's because I'm older. I have more guile, and I'll beat you with experience. Anyway, Cindy Kemp says, "What happened when the knife went for a drive? It took a sharp turn." Oh my God. This has been fun. This has been great. John B. PYKA, you were missed, but we will make it up next month on the 20th.
That's only because the trank dart only grazed him. He'll feel better later. I mean, what? No.
Oh, yeah. Oh, by the way, Nick says he wants to work on your brakes, too. But anyway. But Nick, thank you for being on here. This has been a fun show. I appreciate your coming on here.
I've been saying for what? A year now? Literally. Yeah. Anytime, if somebody ever cancels, call me. I will substitute. And
between you, Carl, and Jody McPhee, I've got my backups all lined up.
You should, one of these days, if somebody flakes on you, you need to do like a 4-man panel, and we'll just roast them. We'll just devastate them for pure short giggle.
Bring it on. And John, just to be fair, John did not crap out on us. This was a scheduling.
Oh, no, totally justified.
Because we love you, John. JohnPyka.com. I wouldn't keep promoting him if I was mad at him.
I wouldn't be harassing you. It's just opportunity knocked, and I let that in and ordered us the full sausage pizza. You know what I mean?
There you go. But, shove Christian about the sausage. Anyway, Joe Dog McHale says, if you're ever in a tunnel and things get brighter for you, remember the choices and your luck. It was nice to have known you.
Sometimes it's the way out. Sometimes it's a freight train.
That's right. And Cindy Kemp says she made a clock. The big hand is a butcher's knife. The small hand is a paring knife. And the clock face is a sharpening stone. There's never a dull moment.
And you can find that clock now on Ted Davies' what's his time work show?
Thursday mornings at 10 a.m. Ted Talks Timepieces. He could put that on his wrist. He can make money. This is marketable, I'm telling you.
Every piece is a grind, but
yeah.
Now, see, this is how it should be, folks. And ask yourself this: if you were watching mainstream broadcast, whatever, would you be this entertained? I guarantee, not only would you not, you'd be interrupted every 5 to 7 minutes by somebody trying to sell you some drug for an incident, for whatever you don't have that you can't pronounce, with side effects that are worse than whatever you could possibly have.
Yeah.
And if you were on any other channel on YouTube, we'd have to bring up our good friends' Game Shady Stories, because they're going to interrupt time and time again.
But we don't run those kinds of ads here. Here's the kind we do run.
From author Brian K. Morris comes a tale of irreverent holiday horror, told with much inappropriate humor. Dr. Victor Frankenstein creates the spirit of giving himself. Ho, ho, ho! Santastein, or the post-holiday Prometheus. Available at Amazon.com. Get your copy today.
And there we go. People are going to think we planned that, but no, we didn't. We do not plan shit like that.
Oh, no. Plans? Who do you think we are? Professionals? No.
Oh, my God, no. No.
This is
we are the anti-professionals.
Absolutely.
Oh, but Nick, it's been a joy having you here as always. We're just going to have to schedule another time with us getting on here and tearing up the airwaves.
I didn't mean to keep you late.
No. It feels bad. Believe me, I'm the one with the controls.
Oh, I know. You have the power.
I have the power. Let's see. Oh, damn! My Funko, my all my Orko stuff is in the other room. Dang it.
Speaking of, there should be an opportunity for you to get new Orko stuff soon, because Netflix is doing that.
Oh, actually,
reboot.
I do have an Orko stuff.
Aww.
Thank you, Scoot McMahon. Anyway, but yeah, I saw that Kevin Smith's got a new Masters of the Universe series coming out, and I'm all agog.
Well, Mark Hamill voicing Skeletor.
I know. That's a match made in heaven.
Oh God, that art style. They
Yeah.
It's like apparently American animators are tired that the Japanese animators got away from the really good stuff that they were doing around that Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust era.
Yeah.
I know this is a little niche, but if you haven't seen it, you need to. It's one of the most visually beautiful films like you're gonna see in animation. And went, oh yeah, we could do that. And then they did Castlevania, which is gorgeous.
Right.
And now they're doing this. I love it. There's a new renaissance of American animation going on, and we're finally getting out of that really weird. Steven Universe is well written, but the art style is not my cup of tea, and it became very popular for a while. I can't remember. There's a name for that style, and I can't remember what the name is offhand. But there's really great stuff coming up down the pipe in animation, and it's like, I may bash DC some of their comics sometimes, and certainly their live action movies, and if it doesn't involve Constantine, I usually don't have much to do with it. But the animated films that have been coming out of DC are just phenomenal, and they have been for this whole arc. So yeah, I'd love to see
the look
more
of them.
that.
I can't complain about the look of them. A couple of the storylines, maybe. Hashtag the Killing Joke.
I hate the Killing Joke. I hate to say, those literature books that no one likes, but everybody claims to because it's literature. Yeah. I really believe The Killing Joke is one of those titles, and I am all ready for hot takes on comic book related stuff right now, because I've had one boiling that will get me in trouble if I don't release it right. Oh. But The Killing Joke is one of those where I don't enjoy it. When I read that book, when I read a comic, even if it's serious, even if it's very serious tones, and I love Mouse, and you can't get more serious.
That's pretty grim.
The Killing Joke is my second least favorite, in graphic novel format, because that's how I read a trade. With the worst being this thing called Jimmy Corrigan. It's the only book I've ever wanted to burn that wasn't possessed.
Oh yeah, I get it.
I had to read that for a graphic novelist literature. Ooh. But
I'm sorry. That's pretty tough slogging through that one. I've read it too.
Yeah. But because everybody's like, well, The Killing Joke, It's like, if you're not edgy enough. Fine. We're going to make a Killing Joke movie. We'll do it right because we want your money and a certain class of fan. And then let's just move on past it, you know?
Yeah. Can you say shifting power dynamic?
Exactly.
Yeah. How can a bad graphic novel be made worse? Let's make an animated film and put some creepy. Let's put an affair in between a grown man and a girl that's been dating his ward. You know, nothing creepy about that.
So, are we going pedophilia or incestuous or both? Like, with their powers combined, a sucky comic is formed. I'm sorry, I said
exactly.
It.
And we knew Barbara had daddy issues, but I didn't think they were that type. I remember back when her daddy issues were just, can I keep my dad, the commissioner, from knowing who I am and what I'm doing at night? So, and Cindy Gibbs says, for sale, replica fishing knife not made to scale. And Dan Hollifield, I wrote you down, brother. We got to get you on here anyways, man. You'd be a hoot. And Carl Witzman says, Sanastine may cause trouble breathing, diarrhea, and headaches. Stop taking Sanastine if these or other symptoms continue. Thank you very much, doctor. And as the Animaniacs usually say, good night, everybody. And very fabulous.
Joe Dog's got me quick draw on the say good night, everybody. Like, it's Pavlovian anymore.
Good show, boys. Thank you, Carl. And you're on my backup list too. And yeah, we're startled too, Cindy. We actually caught up with the comments the second time. So anyway, Nick.
Before one thing.
Yes, sir.
I got it. You need to do a panel show and call it the B-listers. It's all the people who are backups as one panel show. Because there's not one of. Because if you don't have the ego to sign on as a B-lister, you don't deserve to be in our little club. You know, you must be this ugly to attend. No, sorry.
Oh, the opinions of Mr. Nicholas Tucker do not represent the Rising Tide Broadcast Network or any rational human being. But anyway, Carl Winsman says, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a doctor. I only play one at the Peoria Holiday Inn. And Cindy smiles. Anyway, thank you, Cindy, and thank you, Carl. Thank you, everyone. And thank you especially, Nick Tucker. Thanks for making this a fun evening.
Hey, it's been my absolute pleasure to hop on and just, I think you needed it, and if I could do some good.
You did. You do. You always will. So I'm going to mute you for a minute so I can say goodnight to you properly. That's how I got Cookie too. So anyway, I'll let you caress your background, and we will. And I like that, Dan. Wait a second. We got the Legion of Substitute Heroes. Or any other hotels, as Carly. And great fun was had by all y'all done good. So you, Cindy. Mwah. Love you, hun. Love everyone here. And love Nick Tockert. And we will have him back soon. So anyway, and night, Nick. This is Nick at night. Anyway, but wait a second. I think that one's been taken. Anyway, we're going to mute and put Nick in the background here, and I will get him back because he's mine. He's mine now. Anyway, thank you all for being here. Much appreciated. I thought this was going to be a real short show. And thank you and especially Nick Tockert, for making this a really, really fun evening. Hope you enjoyed it too. And as always, folks, we want to thank Plasma Fire Graphics when the look of your book matters to you, because it matters to your readers. Check out what Nick does his own covers. But anyway, check out Plasma Fire Graphics on Facebook. Check them out on the interwebs. And they did my Santa sign trailer. So see what they can do for you. That is Plasma Fire Graphics when the look of your book matters to you. Also want to thank the Rising Tide Broadcast Network, of which Nick is a healthy part of it, and as well as a part of a full balanced breakfast. Anyway, we've got your information and your entertainment mostly 7 days a week. Tomorrow morning, we're going to have Never Mind the Furthermore, the Hump Day edition. And we got a brand new show that's going to be coming up Wednesday. We will tell you all about that when that gets a little more firm, so to speak. But anyway, please check this out. Please check out our shows. Please go to the Rising Tide Broadcast Network page on Facebook and give that a like. You'll be glad you did. Also, Patreon is a monthly subscription service where you can directly support the creator of your choice. And many of these people on this card there have their own Patreon pages, including Nicholas Anthony Tockard. Please check it out because we give you stuff in return for your support. In fact, my supporters who went to www.patreon.com/Brian K. Morris, some of the higher tiers, of which I only have one, got a copy of this book, my brand new release, Snow Ambition, number 4 in the Snow Short Series by Bobby Nash. Check it out. It's 99 cents currently on Amazon. It's a quick read crime drama that I think you will dig. And let's see, I've got a few. Night all. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Carly. And you can't do short, Brian. That's part of why we love you. And I love you too, darling. Mwah, you are excellent. And Nick Tucker, mute but not silence. Hey, wait a minute. Hold on. Anyway, Nicholas Anthony Tucker, thank you, brother, for getting on here and making this night wonderful. And John B. PYKA, we look forward to having you on July 20th on Clever Title Pending, and I hope the recital went well. And folks, don't forget, I think that's it. So we'll close with a word from our sponsor, and we will see you next week when our guest will be novelist John L. Davis IV. He is a horror writer and a self-publisher and a real good guy. I'm looking forward to having you all get to know him because he's a real fun fella. And anyway, folks, thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for watching this episode. We'll see you tomorrow morning on Nevermind the Furthermore, and next week on Clever Title Pending at 8 p.m. Also, don't forget Thursday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern, Comic Book Spectrum, where we're going to talk about Batman and what he don't do. He doesn't kill, and there's one other thing he doesn't do, apparently. We'll be talking about that along with reviewing 4 current comic book releases. So please join us for all of our broadcasts. We think you'll enjoy them. And please like this video if you're watching us on Facebook, and please subscribe to the channel and give us a thumbs up if you're on Facebook, or rather on YouTube. And thank you to everyone watching, whether it's live or on the rerun. We appreciate you all. And thank you to our new Twitch channel, and hope you're enjoying what you're seeing there. So in closing, folks, this is Brian K. Morris telling you, stay smart, stay safe, wash your hands, and never apologize for being awesome. Have a great, great night. We'll see you next week on Clever Title Pending.